Hello, my name is Ambrose Kirkland. On November the 1st, 2001, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. This condition may not raise eyebrows unless it happened to you, and you happen to be a woman. In my case, breast cancer raised more than a few eyebrows since I am a man. Believe me, I was shocked and surprised. Nevertheless, I went through a mental experience that few men ever stop and think about, even in their wildest dreams. I guess you can say I found the lump myself many years ago. I just didn't pay too much attention to it. I knew I had problems with my breast size, but I always thought it was due to the fact that I was heavy. Guys who are fat usually have a lot of fatty tissue, so that's what I thought it was. I'm sure people noticed that I had larger breasts than most men, but I didn't know that it would turn out to be cancer, and I was on a mission to suppress them. I would wear small t-shirts, sometimes wearing them 2 sizes too small. I would even go as far as getting the ace bandage and wrapping it around my breast. The best thing that works for me is when I would wear a medium to large t-shirt. This, of course, is after I've sewn up the sides around the breast area. This tactic seemed to work for me for 7 or 8 years. As a matter of fact, I kept up that deception until around October 2001. But keeping my breasts under wraps was not an easy job, as you can see. But before the biopsy, I did not know or wouldn't say anything to anyone about what was happening up under my shirts, especially when the pain hit. What I did discover with the lump was around April of 2001, ignoring it until late August of 2001 when I started noticing little spots of blood on my white t-shirts. Now I'm thinking, what in the hell is going on? A lot of things went through my mind, but a discharge from my nipple? That was the farthest thing from my mind. The spots started getting larger and larger, and when I woke up, I would see more and more blood. The months of September and October was spent going back and forth to the doctors and taking what seemed like an endless battery of tests. I don't see how women could get mammograms, but I actually had to get a mammogram. Mammograms. Mammograms. I just don't understand it. Then I was seen by my doctor. His name was Dr. Elliot Seeloff, who said it was probably a cyst. They found some calcifications on the mammogram, and the doctor just wanted to make sure that's all it was. So I had a biopsy done on that Monday, October the 30th, 2001. But I still wore my t-shirts just to be on the safe side. Not to hide my breasts, but to support them. I waited all week for the results. When the results finally came in, me and my mother were on separate phones when the doctor called, and the doctor said, "Mr. Kirkland, it was malignant. You have breast cancer." I locked eyes with my mother for that split second, and I can see in her eyes my life. It flashed before me from the point that she had me as a baby up until that moment. That was something that I would never forget. The look on my mother's face, thinking, will my child die? Will my child die from breast cancer? We was told I had to have a double mastectomy. I needed to tell my family and close friends. Then, in December the 13th, 2001, I went in to have my surgery. Even though both my breasts had been completely removed, I still felt as though I had something inside of me going on. I still felt as though I still had those breasts there. And then one day, my sister Angela came to the hospital and we had a semi-conversation. We talked about God and how maybe He gave me this cancer because I was a lot more stronger than most of the women in my family. And that if one of the women in my family would get it, then they were not, strong enough to get this. So I thought maybe to myself, yeah, I've always been a strong man. Maybe that is the reason why. But I didn't like it. I didn't understand why I had to be the one to get it. But mostly she made me try to understand God's point of view on the reason why I had this terrible disease. I've always believed in God. I've always, sometimes had that little doubt that maybe He wasn't listening to my prayers. So now that when I needed Him, He wasn't available. And see, I got breast cancer during the time 911 came around. So I thought the reason that God wasn't hearing my prayers was because He was too busy with the people in New York and Pennsylvania, and He just didn't hear my cries. But I didn't doubt Him after that. But I never asked Him why, because I did know that He did exist. And I thank God for that. And He was never too busy for me. Thank you, God, for all of that. From June of 2002 to July of 2002, I endured 10 and a half weeks of radiation at the northeast center of Florida. I didn't like that. I was told I couldn't have chemotherapy because of the estrogen levels in me. I couldn't understand that either. Radiation wasn't even better. I spent days on the sofa in pain or nauseated. I lost the taste for food. I used to smell flesh burning all the time and realized that's me. I didn't like that. I'm currently NED, which is no evidence of disease, which I'm glad of right now. In the early parts of 2001, I met a young man online by the name of Alan Blasberg, who I thank God I crossed paths with, who taught me about the BRCA gene, also known as the breast cancer gene. In all those years, I couldn't understand why my doctors knew about my family history of breast cancer, but never said anything to me about having this BRCA gene. So I went and got tested for the BRCA gene, and I discovered that I didn't have the BRCA gene, but I had two genes called MREE1 and NBN. So now, once again, I am a rarity. So once again, I have to do research to find out about these two new genes. And I'd like to thank Alan Blasberg for helping me to do this. Sadly, on October the 13th, 2013, October the 19th, 2013, I lost my biggest supporter, my mother, Laura Kirkland. She passed away. But I will continue to fight with her spirit beside me. And I will continue to fight for all men and women who have breast cancer. Because we must continue this fight. We must find a cure for breast cancer. We must raise our voices. We must never give up. And we must continue to move forward. Thank you.